Hello and welcome. This is Gist Nigeria. Coming up, pension reforms. We delve into the broken dreams of Nigerian retirees as experts provide possible fixes. Also, boosting food production. Researchers create technology to mitigate drought and desertification in northern Nigeria. And infant mortality. Medical doctor shares tips on saving a baby from choking. Plus,
hello, my name is Alex Obiechina. Check me out.
The entrepreneur passionate about powering rural Nigeria with renewable energy. Fantastic to be back with another episode of Gist Nigeria, brought to you by the BBC and Channels Television. Here we track stories online in the news and dissect them. I am Wali Fakile. Now to our top story. If you are a Nigerian worker, this story might interest you. This is a worthy dream to retire gracefully after years of hard work. But this dream is elusive for many Nigerians, despite a contributory pension scheme that seeks to cater for their retirement. Delayed pension payments and soaring inflation rates, among other issues, have pushed many retirees into overwhelming lack. In this story, Gist Nigeria's Ayuba Iliya talks to pensioners and experts to understand what is wrong with Nigeria's pension scheme and what can be done to fix it. Take a look.
Over 556 of our retirees have died of frustration, of neglect, inability to take care of their conditions.
What is life like after retirement in Nigeria?
It's like being used and dumped.
The first day I received my 38,000 naira as my pension, I regret it.
When Nigeria's Pension Reform Act was enacted 21 years ago, it made many promises.
But in recent times, we've seen that a number of bodies have now started seeking to opt out of the National Pension Scheme.
Watching retirees protest over unpaid pension benefits is nothing new in Nigeria, with the most recent being police retirees who showed up at the capital, Abuja, and other states across the country. Former Assistant Superintendent of Police Ephraim Timothy retired 7 years ago. Now he receives a monthly pension of 38,000 naira.
My mom died 3 years after my retirement. Then for me to move from here to Gombe, 38,000 naira cannot take me. So I have to borrow money for me to be able to travel. And I couldn't even go myself and my wife. I have to go alone.
Police retirees argue that they face the same occupational hazards as military and intelligence officers, yet are denied the same pension structure.
Our counterparts who retired before this scheme enjoyed 300% of their last annual gross pay and 80% of the last month's salary. Ours is not considered.
Activities at the Federal Ministry of Finance in Abuja were disrupted this morning.
Retirees under the defined benefit scheme have similar tales of unending delays. Inyam Charlson is a retired civil servant from Nigeria's North Central Plateau State. He says after years of service, he now depends on financial support from his children to survive.
Sometimes you have to cut corners, connive with the payment officials. Some even go to a point of asking for a certain amount if you want to be paid.
Underfunding and delayed payments are some of the reasons behind the setup of Nigeria's Pension Reforms Act of 2004. Yet, even now, many retirees die waiting for their benefits. Before 2004, Nigeria operated the defined benefit scheme, where government paid retirees 300% of their last gross annual salary as gratuity and 80% of their last salary as monthly pension for life. But the system collapsed under financial strain and mismanagement. Now, to fix it, the Contributory Pension Scheme, or CPS, a system built on shared responsibility between the employer and the employee, was introduced. Now, here is how it works. Every employee opens a retirement savings account, or RSA, with a pension fund administrator. Now, each month, a minimum of 18% of their salary, that is 10% from the employer and 8% from the employee, is paid into the account. The money is then invested to grow over time. When it's time to retire, workers can receive benefits in two main ways. One, programmed withdrawal, where monthly payments are based on life expectancy, or life annuity, where an insurance company pays you steadily for the rest of your life. There's also the lump sum, a one-time 25% withdrawal made at retirement, but it's only available if the remaining RSA balance can still fund monthly pensions worth at least 50% of your last salary. Before retirement, contributors may also access up to 25% of their pension savings, but only if they have been out of work for at least 4 months. Now, full pension benefits are accessible only upon retirement, turning 50, or in cases of medical incapacitation. However, some groups are exempted from the contributory pension scheme, including judicial officers, members of the armed forces, intelligence and secret services, retirees under any pension scheme predating the CPS, and employees with less than 3 years to retirement as of June 2004. Analysts say that while the act is well-intentioned, inconsistent and poor implementation remains a challenge.
I have never seen a system in this country that is as transparent as the contributory pension scheme. The only problem we have is with the employers. The employees' portion of the contribution is being deducted at source and remitted. Some employers don't remit their own.
Sometimes employers don't do the right calculation. It's usually inaccurate based on your salary records or mismanagement entirely, right? Then again, you can also go through the legal recourse.
You just wonder why there's that much of an onus on the retired employee to have to prove himself as having worked for so many years. Whilst that person is in service, the pension system ought to know what date that person is going to retire.
Beyond the welfare of retirees, poor pension benefits have implications for productivity and national security. At a recent strategic meeting with state commissioners, Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun acknowledged the impact of retiree welfare among serving police officers.
There exists a growing and deep-rooted anxiety, born from the belief, rightly or wrongly, that retirement is a descent into hardship. This fear has become so pervasive that it is having a noticeable demoralizing effect on morale across the ranks.
To increase corruption, it will also affect, it will lead to inefficiency.
A 2019 report by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime and the National Bureau of Statistics revealed that police officers accounted for over 35.7% of all bribes paid in Nigeria. Other officials who collectively account for 70% of the total bribes include public utility workers, tax and revenue officers, teachers, lecturers, and healthcare professionals.
Most of them who are hopeless, they have no prospect. They believe that they cannot work much harder with a hope to come and earn a reward for retirement.
In January 2020, it was reported that at least 3,907 assault rifles and pistols were unaccounted for at the Nigerian Police Armory. The police say both reports were factually inaccurate. At the core of the agitation by many retirees under the contributory pension scheme is the absence of a mandatory gratuity, a benefit retiree once relied on for financial stability. But the National Pension Commission (PENCOM) warns that reverting to the old defined benefit scheme is economically unsustainable.
If you were to put the entire police force under a defined benefit scheme right now, indications are that the federal government may need up to an additional 3.5 trillion naira annually.
You find people, waiting for their pension 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and when it comes, possibly people have taken a lot of loans. You've looked out for credits, and you are just trying to pay what you've collected, you have nothing left again. So it's like you're going back again to go back the same cycle.
Instead of scrapping the current system, analysts argue that full implementation and reform of the Pension Act could address the concerns of retirees.
Even within some other institutions within Nigeria, we can see what is obtainable there, what is obtainable in CBN, what is obtainable in NNPC and other organizations that we have.
If the government were to double its contribution and the 8% was reduced to 5%, you'll have 25% of that salary going in there into the RSA on a monthly basis. That may just about make a difference.
Following a recent meeting between Director General of PENCOM and the head of Nigeria's Civil Service, a proposal to pay retirees 100% of their last annual gross salary as gratuity was put forward, but timeline for implementation remains unclear. Experts also recommend deploying digital platforms to fast-track pension payments, reduce bottlenecks, and ensure transparency. Ayuba, Iliya, Gist, Nigeria.
Nigeria needs to do everything possible to cater for its pensioners. How will you describe Nigeria's pension system? Let us know on our X handle at Gist Nigeria TV. We would like to hear from you.